Today I'm going to fill up some of these holes in this boat because the water level is right about here. So sometimes over time these things get loose and then water seeps inside the boat, and there's 2 layers of plastic and water seeps into the center of it. So I've drained out all the water. It should be dry, and I'm going to seal it with some marine putty, and then each screw is going to go in with some sealant on the screws, and that should tighten it all up, and I'll put everything back together. Alright, so the first update is that these don't come out. They must have been screwed on in between layers when they were manufacturing them. So I'm going to have to seal around the edges of each of these, which is not going to look pretty, but I don't really care. It's going to be watertight. So the first step is to get some of this marine putty. You can get it at an auto shop or a marine center. And it's like Play-Doh, and so it has 2 different chemicals, and when you mix them together, they will harden. So the first step is going to be to cut off some of it and then mold it in your hands to about the size that you need for the project, and then you're going to work it around the item. Now this is plastic, so it may not stick very well, so the best thing for me to do is to probably heat some of this area or sand it. And I don't have any sandpaper here, so we're going to have to heat it and see if that will help it stick. But for most other materials, fiberglass, metal, and things, this stuff works great. I hope that it will be okay. Okay, so I cut off a little small piece, and I'm just going to knead this together, and it's okay to not wear gloves, and you just keep mixing it until it turns like a grayish color. And I have probably about 15 minutes to work with this and set it, and it will take about an hour to dry. So I'm just going to work it into the holes, and then I can drill right through these again when I put the cover back on. Okay, an update on the project. I sealed anywhere that water could potentially gotten through. This is a little bit soft still, so I'm going to screw the cover back on, and that will help tighten up the seal as well. And then right here, this gap will also be covered because the plastic goes right over the whole thing. This is where the outboard motor can go on if I wanted one, and it goes on just like that. So all in all, I think this is a big help to help keep the water out. And I would recommend buying 2 packages of these because I almost ran out.